Again with Secretary Bhatt and Team DelDOT behind me, and I once again want to thank all of the state employees who have been working so hard, working around the clock to clear our roads, to limit the damage of the storm, to keep people safe, and to provide vital services. And this includes hundreds of people at DelDOT who, as you have just heard, have gone without much sleep. And there are hundreds more like the folks behind me. In addition to spending time with DelDOT, I went earlier today over with Secretary Bhatt and General Vavala to the Joint Operations Center of the Delaware National Guard, where they're doing a great job keeping up on the storm and ensuring the state is as prepared as possible. And we had a chance to look at tonight's forecast while I was there, and I'll get into that in just a moment. We also stopped by at Emily P. Bissell Hospital. It's a long-term care facility near Wilmington. Met the staff there. They and so many state employees are just doing an incredible job taking care of so many Delawareans, and we are just grateful to all of them. I also want to thank many of the men and women who are employed by the cities and counties, the towns in Delaware, for the work that they're doing. We owe all of them sincere thanks. Let me talk a little bit about the conditions. So in terms of current road conditions, we have lifted the state of emergency in the level 1 driving warning in Newcastle and Kent counties. There had not been one in Sussex, so now the whole state is free of any kind of driving warning. As I mentioned this morning, we were able to shift some of the crews from the primary roads and to start work on the secondary and the minor roads. And they've made really good progress, in large part because of people working all night long. We also had very little traffic, which was extraordinarily helpful, and we appreciate those who heeded our advice to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. The rain has helped, as has the fact that temperatures have stayed above freezing, as well as all the salt that we put on the roads. Folks will remember about a month ago, we had a storm when the temperatures stayed below freezing for a while, and it made it much more difficult to melt the snow. So now, primary roads are essentially clear in Newcastle and Kent counties, with some wet spots, but the minor roads and secondary roads in Newcastle County still do have a fair amount of snow on them, and people need to be really careful, particularly as it gets colder and potentially ices up. Now, because DelDOT is not finished with these roads, and because of the potential for refreezing tonight, the DelDOT team will continue to plow and to apply salt throughout the night to get the roads in the best shape as we can for the morning commute. And thankfully, we're able to rotate our drivers to give them a few hours of rest. And while there are not currently restrictions on our roads, we still ask everybody to exercise real caution when traveling. Please make smart decisions about delaying or refraining from being on the road this evening, and especially as that applies to some of the smaller roads. We've heard from Delmarva that nearly everybody's power has been restored, which is great. After thousands of Delawareans had lost power earlier, we know that they plan to remain staffed to see what the wraparound end of the storm does later this evening. And I want to thank everybody at Delmarva as well as at the co-op for all they've done throughout the storm. So looking ahead to this evening, we're looking at a potential additional 2 to 4 inches in northern Delaware, 1 to 3 inches further south. There could be snow and sleet throughout the overnight period, and a winter storm warning remains in effect until 6 a.m. We are planning for winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour and snow becoming moderate to heavy at times. Now, winter storm warning means that there are significant amounts of snow and sleet, that travel is hazardous, and that power outages are quite possible. We'll be watching conditions closely, and we'll take all actions necessary for people's safety. That could include reinstituting a driver warning or state of emergency if weather conditions require. And my office, along with all the relevant state agencies, will regroup tomorrow morning to reassess whether anything needs to be done based on the conditions overnight and in the early morning period. So a reminder to everybody who was out on the roads tonight and into the morning, if you've got vehicle problems, stay in your vehicle. because the freezing temperatures can be life-threatening. Be sure to have an emergency kit in the vehicle consisting of a blanket, bottled water, snacks, a cell phone charger, flashlight, flares, and the like. And finally, we will continue to receive regular updates from the National Weather Service, from various state agencies and local municipalities, and we'll be keeping residents informed. You can check news.delaware.gov or dema.delaware.gov, as well as social media, and we certainly appreciate the support of the local and regional media outlets. We ask everybody, particularly with more snow forecasted for tonight, to continue to stay informed and to take note if any more driving restrictions or warnings become necessary. So I appreciate all you all coming out again. I want to thank Secretary Bhatt and the great team behind me. And please thank all of your colleagues for us, and be happy to take any questions.